Everybody, it's Mrs. Claus, your friendly neighborhood Mrs. Claus, Cricket Claus. I am here today because we are going to do a couple of DIY videos. Now, over the course of the next 2 weeks, we are going to be filming the rest of what I'm going to put on my front porch for fall. We've already done the wreath. Now we're going to do our little T here that says fall. Except the one that we're doing today is going to say y'all. Fall y'all. It's going to be cute. We're going to work on that. And I'm also going to be filming this other piece that is going out my front door. So we're going to make one of those as well. So that's going to be over the course of the next 2 videos. So I hope you guys stick around. I hope you like it. And let's get started. So for this video, we are going to be making one of these, which is just a little planter that I put on my front porch. Can you see it? Is it cute? Is it focusing right? I might zoom out in a little bit and show you. This is what the top of it looks like. It's really cute. But we're going to work on that. So, to start off, now, you don't have to use a goblet like this. I got this one at Joann Fabric when it was going out of business in my hometown in Biloxi, Mississippi. So when that closed down, I got this bad boy on clearance for like $3, but they're normally $40. You can find anything that looks similar to this at the Dollar Tree or Hobby Lobby or Michael's or Joann, and you don't have to pay this price for it. I just happen to have a bunch of these and I'm using them for my front porch. So I'm not going to put anything in here. Everything is going to stack on top of it so that I can use this again at Christmas time. That way I get my money's worth. So I'm going to set that to the side for now, and we're going to start on the rest of that project. So these I got at the Dollar Tree for $1.25 a piece, and we're going to paint them. So first I'm going to take this bad boy off of here because it's just stuck on like a toothpick in there, and we don't need that. It's going to get in the way. So we're going to take that off, and this pumpkin is going to be the same color as our project last week that has the tea and the pumpkins on it. So we are going to paint that one the blue, but as you can tell, it's extremely orange. So let me get some sandpaper. It doesn't matter what kind you get, and you don't have to do this step. I did not do that step on the other blue pumpkin, and I had to do like 100 coats on that bad boy to get the orange to not stand out. So what we're going to basically do is try to get all of this orange off of here. I bet there's like a chemical stripping process you could do to this, but that just takes too long. I don't know, this might take too long. And I'm basically just gonna give up on that because that sucks. We're not doing that. To heck with that. We're just gonna paint it. So, white, here we are. We're gonna go in with the white, and we only really need to paint from here out and down in the colors that we're using. But I'm going to just put this on there. And the only reason that we're using the white like this right now is to take down some of the orange. We don't want the orange to peek through our blue on this one. Now on the other one, this color peeking through is not going to be a problem so much because we are using like a beigeish white color. And we don't have to paint the bottom of this bad boy because it's going to be covered up. So is basically right here, but we're doing this anyway just to kind of hide the orange a little bit more. So I forgot that I had just like poured the paint on there. We are going to have some leaves on this bad boy that will cover up any of the orange that's sticking out on top. and we'll have burlap on the bottom to hide everything. So just keep that in mind. I'm just doing a light coat of the white on this guy before we put the blue on. And we're going to want that to dry a little bit. Oh, I hope I don't run out of white. I have a whole nother project that I've got to use the white for. Oh no, we're going to have to put that bad boy upside down and let it cook. All right, so as I paint this, I hope you guys are enjoying my videos. I doubt myself a lot. I have a lot of issues with imposter syndrome and feeling like a normal human being sometimes. Being normal is overrated in most situations. Oh, you know what? I am going to have to go buy more white because I need white for this project. All right, we're going to tamp that down until we get enough of it in there. All right, so we're going to put the white over here because guess what? I forgot we were using that to paint the other pumpkin. So we're going to take the white. I'm going to leave it upside down so that I don't have to tamp it down every time I have to use it. We're going to mix the white and a little bit of the cinnamon to make a beige color. And I'm going to use this one to mix it together and make this beige. And then we're going to paint that other pumpkin while this one's drying. That way we don't have a whole lot of downtime in between. Now, another thing that I did on these to make them tie into last week's project was on the other one that I made, I went through and at the seams here, I painted them with the gold paint that I have just to kind of give them an antique-y look, show that there is ribbing in that pumpkin. And I'm going to paint this stem completely gold, so I'm not really worried about if I get any of the beige paint on there. And this one, it looks like is probably going to be a little more beige than the last one, and that's fine. I don't mind if they're not the exact same color, because again, nature. Nothing is exactly the same in nature twice. Everything from snowflakes to people. No one, even identical twins, don't have things exactly alike. So we want them to look like they belong together. They don't have to be twins. And I think with this, we're only going to need one coat on this one, which is cool because I had to do like 4 coats on the other pumpkin to get it to look the way I wanted it to. All right, we're going to continue to paint this bad boy. And the next part that we're going to do while this is drying is make the wreath part that's going to go around the bottom that we're going to glue these to, that just sets down in that planter. Because the planter is amazing. It's so easy to use. It's so nice. I love it. All right, see? One coat's all we really need because we kind of want it to look grainy. It doesn't have to look perfect, which is what I like about it. So while this dries, this guy's still wet. So we want him to dry too. While they dry, I'm going to set this to the side. And we're going to bring out our wreath form. So I have these little wreath forms. I got a bunch of them a while back on clearance, or maybe I got them at a yard sale. But I had a bunch of them laying around. So I used it on my other one and I think it came out perfect. So all we're going to do is we're going to take some burlap. We're going to kind of tie it on here. This is burlap ribbon from Walmart, $3.49 for the whole thing, and I'm only going to use half of it. I only used half of it on the other one. So for the pair of these, if you have your own planter at home that you can use, will cost you less than, let's see, I think for the paint, it was $1.25, $1.50, and $1.25. Even with the brushes, that's another $1.25. So you're looking at $4 for that, $1.25 for each of these pumpkins. So this whole project will probably cost less than $10 to make. Less than $15 if you're doing two. So basically all I'm going to do is take the burlap and just shove it through these center pieces in here. Just a little bit. And then we're going to twist it when we get to the end here on this third row. My finger's stuck. Okay. We're going to make sure that we pull enough of it through that it's kind of bunched up. And we're going to shove it over, twist this bad boy, go back into that first row of holes in this bad boy, and pull this burlap through. This is like a cheating way to make a wreath, honestly. Just take the burlap and just shove it through. This way you don't have to actually mess around with wire and tying it down with wire or pipe cleaners. A lot of people use pipe cleaners to tie this stuff on, or even hot glue. You don't have to worry about all that stuff. You just shove it through. Can you even see what I'm doing anymore? Sorry about that. The camera died on me. So we're going to just pull that through there and make it fluffy. You kind of want it to be fluffier on the outside because it's got to cover up the bottom of our planter, or the top of our planter, so it looks like it's full. But the reason we're doing this is so that the pumpkins have something to sit on that looks kind of cute, kind of rustic. So this shouldn't take me but a few more minutes to do. And then I'll show you the next part of that. So I'm going to talk you through it in real time on this one so you can see how long these projects actually take me to make. While those paints are drying, we are going to paint the bigger pumpkin the blue, the same as the project from last week, the teal color, to kind of go with our theme. As you can see, these are our flowers that are going to go on this project. And I'll show you how we're going to rip those to pieces and put them together to make it work. That's also a flower pick from Dollar Tree, which was $1.25. So they're really cute this year. I don't know. Dollar Tree is up in its game on some of their floral picks. Some of them looked cheap, but this looked really cute, and I liked it. So that's why we're going with that. I cannot wait until I can see what cute stuff we can come up with for Christmas this year. I have so many decorations, as you can imagine, but I got rid of, before we moved, all of our Christmas trees. So I've got to get new Christmas trees this year. So if you guys have any that you recommend that aren't going to break the bank, by all means, chime in. I can't wait to put mine together. I will also be doing more ornament videos in the very near future for Christmas trees. So I will have one tree that is going to be all crocheted and handmade ornaments and garland. So I can't wait to share that with you guys. I think it's going to be precious and I love it. All right, so that's basically all it took to get this one done. Now I'm going to cut the rest of this off, and I have a little bit of burlap left over to make a bow with later for another project if I need. So again, $3.49 for this thing of burlap. and it's going to be perfect. So I'm going to set that to the side. Actually, let me show you what I did with this in there. I need these leaves I'm going to set to the side, and these leaves I'm going to set to the side. They're going to go between our pumpkins. But the rest of this, we are going to cut these off about right here. And I basically score them with my scissors, and then I fold them back and forth until they come loose. And we are going to shove these into our wreath form here. And once our pumpkins are on there, this will be what they see underneath. So there's that part. I don't know where this red came from. It just was on there. I don't know. I'm going to go with it, but I'm putting it in the back where you're not going to really see it on this one. All right, I'm going to set that to the side, and we're going to come back to our pumpkins. So the white pumpkin is pretty much still a little tacky, but that's okay. Again, this one, we're leaving it like that, except for to add the gold to it. So I'm coming back in with that same teal color that I used on my other projects. And we are going to paint over the white on this pumpkin. Now, this is probably going to take a couple of coats to get completely opaque. We'll see how much it's going to take, because I remember the last one taking a little bit. All right, again, we're taking the cinnamon and the teal and mixing them together to make the perfect kind of teal color. The turquoise and the cinnamon. So again, I'm sure you don't want to watch me mix this paint a million times, but we're doing this in real time so you can see how quick and easy this whole project is. All right. Yeah. Now that I've got more paint on there, it's actually going on easier. It's going on thicker. I like it. So make sure you load up your brush pretty good with paint when you're working on these bad boys. But you don't want to load it up too much because you want it to be able to dry. You want it to have time to dry before you put on the next layer of paint. All right. And anywhere you see the paint too thick, just go back over it with your brush to kind of thin it out a little bit. Like I had a line right there that was just way too much paint. It was never going to dry at that point. Hear the sound of that painting on that foam? I don't know if you can hear it, but to me it's kind of like ASMR. Just scratchy foam painting. If nails on a chalkboard was a problem for me, I think this would be a nightmare of a project. But it's not. So keep that in mind while you're painting this. It's going to sound like it's scratchy. But for me, it's scratching something in my brain that makes me happy. So that's a good thing. All right. We're almost done with this layer of paint. All right. So, how's she looking? She looking pretty good? I think she's looking pretty good. She's going to need one more coat just to make sure none of that orange pokes through. So I'm just going to scoot her over for a minute and let her dry some more. And we are going to grab another brush. I'm taking one of these little, this is another brush from the Dollar Tree. It was kind of meh. It was in a pack of 4 and they're not the best brushes, but they work for this project because they're going to do what I need them to do on this pumpkin. So we are going to take our gold paint, gold metallic paint. We're going to put it on our brush. And we are going to paint the stem of this pumpkin gold. And this gold paint is kind of thin. I have noticed quite a bit that it is quite thin, which is fine. It's not an issue. We don't want it to be as opaque as the other colors are. I just want it to have that little hint of gold coming through on our project. Now, it already had some like gold leafing on it, but not as much as I wanted. So I wanted it to stand out more and be more gold. So that's why we painted it. Now I'm going to take the gold and I'm going to take streaks of it. I'm going to grab this right here. I'm going to take streaks of the gold and I'm going to go from the top and I'm going to go down the ribbing on this pumpkin. Just right down the ribbing, just a little gold in there to kind of give it a shimmer. And I'm really loading the brush up because I just want to put a little bit on there, but because of the way that this paint is, it's not going on as thick as I would want it to. So, and we're not being super strategic about how this paint goes on. As a matter of fact, it's, for the most part, today, not wanting to go on the pumpkin. Let's see, let's dab it. There we go. That's looking better. Oh, my sweet, sweet husband texting me to make sure everything's going good today. I have been having a bad couple of days pain-wise. So when you deal with chronic pain and you're disabled and there's just so much going on, bad pain days really, really, really do me in. Oh my God, I touched the other pumpkin. Oh no, I have blue on it now. Okay, I got it off of there. And really the whole point of the gold is to just kind of give a little bit of a sheen in those spots that are kind of shadows. It's kind of giving a shadow. Ah, no, don't drop the whole pumpkin. It's running away from me. Please don't make that a soundbite on the YouTube, on the interwebs. Don't make me a soundbite. Please don't run away from me. Let me know if... Siri. That bitch be spying. I mean, that lady be spying. Well, I'm going to have to bleep out a bad word I said. Talking about Siri. I hope I can remember to do that when I go to edit this. I don't want to have a bad word in my videos. I'm human. I'm a human woman. Not the bestest one either. I am Mrs. Claus, but I am also human. All right, I'm going to do some more touching up on this blue pumpkin real quick. Now that that layer is mostly dry, then we're going to do the same thing on that pumpkin with the gold that we did on the beige pumpkin. We're just going to go and do some spot painting in the ribbing. All right, let that dry for a minute. All right, I'm gonna go get my glue gun while that dries because I totally just realized it's not in here. So let me go do that and I will be right back and those will be dry. All right, so I went and got my hot glue gun and I have decided I'm going to, instead of using the brush for the gold on this pumpkin, I am going to use a sponge brush to just go down the line. I feel like that works. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing because I'm too far off the camera. All right. I feel like this works a little better going with the sponge and going down the ribbing. I feel like that works a lot better than what I was doing with the brush on the last one. So we're just gonna go across here and do that on the ribbing. And I'll be honest with you, I don't remember how I did the other one when I was tinkering last week in making them. I was tinkering around, trying to figure out my patterns for all of this stuff, much like the ornaments that I will be filming later today. I just like to go in and start something, try something, do something new, and see how it comes out. And that's what we're doing today. Let me get my gold. I need more gold. I'm running out of gold, you guys. How do you run out of gold paint? You use too much of it. That's what happens. All right, we're going to go down this seam. There's a seam here, and I'm going to use it as one of the ribs of the pumpkin. And I'm just going down each one of the little ribs and just dabbing this gold on there to kind of make it look dimensional. And I did that on the last one, but it doesn't look as pronounced as it does on this one. Maybe after it dries, it won't look so shiny gold. I don't mind the shiny gold, but it's showing up more on this blue pumpkin than it did on the other one. And like I said, after it dries, it's probably going to go away a lot. All right, let's get another handhold spot. There we go. And there's the last little rib that we've got to paint on that one. There we go. Now, the next part of all of this is strictly putting it together. And if I wait just a couple of minutes for it to dry a little bit, it'll be easier for me to put together. I'm impatient, you guys, I'm impatient. Okay, so we have this pumpkin with the gold on it. And then we have this pumpkin also with gold on it, painted up. And they will dry eventually, but that's taking too long. So while we're waiting for them to dry, I'm going to go ahead and glue them together because they don't need to be dry to be glued together. Put another doobobby in my glue gun. It's not going to hurt it for me to put them together while they're still a little wet. So we just set that bad boy on there. And you can see that there's some orange poking through on the top of that one pumpkin where we didn't get it completely covered. That's what the leaves are for. So we're going to take our glue gun and we're going to dab some glue in there, and we're going to put our little leaves on there. And we're going to shove them in there. Shove them in between the two. See? Boom. Got that. Hides the little bit of orange we have peeking through. And I kind of like it that this one's kind of off a little bit, kind of wobbly looking, because that's the best right there, wobbly. So then we shove that through there, and ba-blam. Okay, so the last part of this project to get it to where it sits in the planter is to glue it down to our wreath. So I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to turn it over. And I'm going to glue the bejesus out of the outside of this guy. All right. Then we're going to shove it down on top of that really hard. And it'll stay. So now all we have to do when we go to change this out of our planter is take that wreath part off, lift it up, and we have our planter free for that. So here's what we have. The paint is almost completely dry, which is good. See you in the outro. Yeah, I think that's it. There you have it, guys. Aren't they pretty? I think they came out great. These are going to be a great addition to my porch. And again, like I said in last week's video, we are going to do a front porch tour so you can see what these look like together. I will get that video together once I get my crates made. I think I'm going to do a video on how to make those crates as well. I do need to run to the Home Depot and get what I need to make that project. But I think these came out super cute. And I hope you like this video. If you did, please leave a comment. Let me know what you did like about it, what you didn't like about it. Tell me if you want to see more projects like this. Have a good day.